So, I don't know about y'all, but I've been a little mind fucked all day. And it's Easter, apparently. Honestly, I forgot. Because I don't know. I used to look forward to holidays and getting together and seeing my family, and now they just give me so much anxiety. It makes me sick. Which worked in my favor because, yesterday, I was like, you know what? We had our Easter dinner at my aunt's house, and I was like, you know what? I'm not up to dealing with this shit today. I'm not up for the bullshit. I'm not up for just another day of just fucking masking. And pretending like everybody doesn't treat me like shit, and like everybody doesn't have it out for me, and one of my siblings. I'm like, this is fucking exhausting. Okay. It makes me think of the Joker movie. Okay, when he's brought on that talk show, literally just so they could mock him for his disability, mock him for his trauma, and they thought he was stupid. They thought maybe he was so fucked up in the head that he was less than them, so he wouldn't get it, and then it would go over his head. Well, you know what? It didn't. He knew exactly what they were doing. He knew exactly what they were planning. See, he knew before he even showed up what was gonna happen. And he was like, okay, you know what? Checkmate, bitch. So he came prepared. And he won. So, if you watch that movie and you resonate with the Joker, it's kind of sad. But, I actually have this quote written down, and I'm going to try to not have myself doing this. Because I have this whole part that I copied down. So I'm just going to read it for you, because, so he goes on to the show, okay, and they're ready to mock him. But he sits down there, wearing his clown outfit, and he's like, I killed those 3 Wall Street guys, and, the show host, Murray, was like, I'm waiting for the punchline. The Joker's like, there is no punchline. It's not a joke. And why should we believe you? I ain't got nothing left to lose. Nothing can hurt me anymore. My life is nothing but a comedy. Let's get this straight. You think killing those guys is funny? I do, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. Comedy is subjective, Murray. Isn't that what they say? All of you? The system that knows so much. Okay, so now, the system, that's religion. Okay? You decide what's right and wrong the same way you decide what's funny and what's not. You did this to start a movement? To become a symbol? Come on, Murray. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement? I killed those 3 guys because they were awful. Everybody's awful these days. It's enough to make anyone crazy. That's your defense for killing these men? You're crazy? Nah, they couldn't carry a tune to save their lives. That's when everybody starts getting pissed in the audience, and he's like, why is everybody so upset about these guys? Okay, so you can picture these guys as literally anybody that, maybe the pastor knows of this family that's hurting. There's maybe the pastor knows, like, this single mom that's so tight with Jesus, is going through a rough time, and the church will just be like, oh my god, or it's like, oh my god, these people, like, if they're in the church, and if they're going along with what's right and what's wrong, what's not, like, you know what I'm saying. They fit in the clique. Everybody cares. If the right person cries, Everybody cares. Otherwise, this is what happens. If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me. I pass by you every day and you don't notice me. But these guys, what? Because Thomas Wayne went and cried about them on TV? Have you even seen what it's like out there? Do you ever actually leave the studio, the church, the youth group, the small group? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy. You think men like Thomas Wayne, the pastor, the right person that cried, the leader of the clique, ever think what it's like to be someone like me? To be somebody but themselves? They don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys. And then that's when he's like, how about another joke, Murray? What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? And this is where the Joker just gets crazy and starts crying a little bit. And he's like, I'll tell you what you get. You get what you fucking deserve. And then he shoots the guy in the head. Okay, and I was like, what would happen if I said that to my family? They'd be like, what do you mean? We never abandoned you. We've been here the whole time. We've been trying to help you. And if I was like, well, but you guys don't help, not with what I need, I'd be like, all you do is try to change me. And they'd be like, that's so unfair. We've done so much for you and you're so ungrateful. Change you? You don't listen to anything we say. Why are you so defensive? We can't say anything to you. We're trying to help. And you take it as an attack. We're just worried about you. How many times have you fucking heard that? Oh, we're just worried about you. You're going in the wrong direction. And you know what I have to fucking say with that? Okay, well, when I was going this direction and asked for help, I didn't get it. I didn't get shit. I got shat on. I didn't get help, though. So, suddenly, I got completely ignored and shut up. Like, be quiet. Your problems don't matter. You're a kid. I don't have time for this. So I went in a different direction. Because not only did they not care about my problems, they thought they knew what was best, which was opposite of what I needed. And when I tried to say, no, that makes it worse, they would push and push and push and push and push. So I said, I fucking can't do this anymore, and I fucking ran away. And I left. And then they treated me like the prodigal daughter. Like me moving away was somehow bad. Which never made sense to me. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It never made sense. And this whole fucking idea of, oh, we just care about you. No, you don't care about me. You care about your reputation, and you care about controlling everybody so that they go in the same way, that they follow the path you carved out for them. Not carved out, this is the path you pointed down them, because that was the path you were going down, and you're like, oh, we go this way. This is the only way. If you go that way, you're shit. You're shit. Basically, if you go this way, pretty much everything that ever happens badly to you is your fault, because you went that way. Well, when I went this way, it was nobody's fault, but everything happens for a reason. It's extremely, extremely hypocritical, though. Because, say, if we just skip over the fact that I was sexually abused as a child from the time I was 3 till I was, 13. If we just skip over that and just go right with, we'll jump into my pregnancy. I think I've talked about the rest back before. Okay, so we're just up to this point now. Well, I grew up being with, pro-life, everything was hammered into me. there was like a crisis pregnancy place. There was, they were all super excited when they got like an ultrasound thing because like, yeah, well, when women come in thinking that they want an abortion, they'll be able to see the baby and get so attached that they can't, do the other thing anymore. And that was great. If it was somebody that wasn't in the church, suddenly that baby was everything. We need to get that baby. Everybody's gonna love it. That baby's so precious. Babies are a gift from God. Well, when I showed up pregnant, the response I got was, what's this gonna do to our reputation? And then I got passive aggressively and not so passive aggressively, treated like shit by pretty much my entire family. And up until that point, I'd been trying to believe everybody that said, no, you're just reading too much into this, you're just too sensitive. But it's kind of hard to deny when your mom doesn't give you a baby shower gift, when your mom tells you straight to your face that she's more worried about her reputation. And what's interesting is when I was getting abused, okay, everybody is like, why didn't you say something? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you just say something? We could have done something. I wish we could have done something about it. Oh my god. That's BS. That's complete bullshit. Because obviously they didn't respect my boundaries and that's why I fucking left. Anyways, ever since then, ever since I got pregnant, everything that has ever happened, every struggle, is my fault. Well, you should have thought about that. You know what? I did. That's why I clearly communicated with the other party that I didn't want to do that. Nobody asked me though. I just got immediately shat on. People told me that I was trying to get pregnant. Even when I was like, what? No. I mean, I can show that everybody the screenshots of me clearly texting this person saying, no, we will be friends. That's it. And then I end up pregnant. What do you know? But I guess it's my fault because I don't know. Because apparently when I moved to Michigan and I started dating people because I was 20 years old, 21, that's kind of what one does at that point is they just start meeting other people, But that turned into jokes about me being a hoe, apparently. Because I'd be talking to somebody and just be like, oh yeah, this guy said this. And then the next day be talking to somebody else. Well, if I don't like that guy, I'm just gonna go talk to somebody else. That's kind of how dating works. It's like what the dating scene is you just kind of like, you talk to people, get to know them a little bit, and then you're like, no, move on. Or you're like, oh yeah, let's tell me more. I thought that was common sense. Anyways, it's not if you're raised in a religious environment, which means you date to marry. Okay, well, the talking phase and the dating phase, different. Even in the dating phase, you're still getting to know the person, and sometimes the more you get to know about somebody, the certain things might come up that you're like, wait, hold up. Anyways, so backing back a bit. Let's back it up a bit. Where was I? Anyways, my reputation at this point had already become that I was a hoe. That's pretty much it. Thanks guys, really appreciate it. Especially after I already suffered a fucked up amount of abuse at this point. And I've been told that I was holding grudges against people because I didn't want them around me. This might come off quite sassy, but you know what? I'm not going to apologize for that. If the facts make somebody look bad, That's not my fault. That's not on me. Anyways. So, I mean, I'd already been, picked on relentlessly. And, like, in some ways, yeah, jokes are funny, haha, but I mean, when jokes become just an outlet for you to talk shit straight to somebody's face and be like passive aggressive, but like it's literally just a way to like insult people with praise. Like not only without just getting away with it, it's like if you like pick on somebody just right and say the most hurtful things, but it would be a joke, so you don't actually mean it. You're just kidding, right? That's not funny. That's bullying. Now, if I said, can you guys not do that? Which is what happened, Thanksgiving. I was like, hey, can you guys just not do that? That became a joke. That made me the butt of more jokes come Christmas. So, you know, when Easter came around, I was like, you know, I don't really feel up to dealing with this right now. I got a lot going on. It's enough for me to deal with as it is. And I'm getting no help, no support. Even when I clearly asked for it 5-6 months ago. But you know, that was my fault because I was the one that dated the wrong people. So, I mean, stupid Jenna, what do you know? That's why I don't like being called Jenna anymore. Because Jenna is a fucking idiot. I'm not an idiot, though. But nobody would know that because Jenna became an idiot. Because nobody would believe shit she ever said. And then people ask why she didn't ever say anything. And meanwhile, she's like, dude, I have been saying shit. I've been saying it all. And you either mocked me for it, told me I was being overly sensitive, or just told me I was straight up bullshitting. And, so yeah, I didn't bother because, if I tried to voice my feelings, I came away feeling worse. That's what I'm trying to say. So, anyways, when I get to be an adult, I got away because he wouldn't stay away from me, so I left. It's like, okay, if that's how you want it, I'll just leave. And then I got shit on for it. And suddenly everybody's like, why don't you just go and why don't you just live with mom and dad and save your money? Well, when I was living with my parents, I was in fight or flight mode. I was completely numb. My body completely shut down. My nervous system shut down. Well, when I moved away from the trauma and could actually start like processing all this shit that happened to me, my nervous system, in some ways, it chilled out. So my body started to try to function again, and then my body was like fucked because I hadn't been able to do shit for so long. Because when you're numb, that's like when you're in freeze. You know, the age old, why didn't you just tell him to stop? Because you know how when you, like a possum will play dead? You know how, like, rabbits, when they get scared, they just completely faint sometimes. Deer, if they jump out in the road and they see a car coming, they just, like, freeze, okay? Well, what freeze mode does, you're completely numb. With abuse, like I suffered, your body shuts down. Freeze mode, your body is preparing for death. That's what is going on in your body, not just in your mind. In your mind, you're just trying to be as still as you can, as quiet as you can, and hope that it ends soon so that you don't end up being hurt even more. Meanwhile, your body is just preparing for death. Your heart rate slows down, your circulation slows down, your digestion like stops, and because I mean, picture you're gushing, your body thinks that there's like a wound gushing blood. Okay, so it's not going to be too worried about eating. It's not going to be too worried about you needing to go pee. And it's going to slow your heart rate down to slow the blood from shooting out. Okay, but that doesn't always, like, that's what your body's doing, because psychological trauma is just as fucking serious. Okay? And when that's how you grow up, when you're literally from 3 years old, that's what happens is you go into freeze mode in your own fucking house before you even know what anything is. Anyways, your body shuts down. And so when that's baseline, 3 years old, that's how my body learned how to function. And first of all, people are like, you need to eat more. Okay, so you know what happens when your gut slows down? Your gut slows down. That's, yeah. Anyway, so then I like, when I moved out, my body started to try to function again. But my body was, like, able to actually feel what was going on again. And I was also healing from, like, 2 serious head injuries. And it was a lot to deal with. And there was a lot of stress. And meanwhile, my family, so ever supportive. Were just giving me shit and guilt tripping me for moving away. You need to come back and save money. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why don't you just do something that I would do instead? Anyways. Well, I ended up getting so sick, I had to move back. So when I finally had to move back, the response I got was, the prodigal daughter returns! And then I moved back in, like, September. So literally, I had seen this guy 2 times, maybe. I literally have trauma around being abused. And you really think I'm just out there whipping my titties out? Like, excuse me, that just shows how fucking little my family has ever tried to get to know me. How fucking little they've ever noticed my existence. Because if I can't even feel safe enough in my own goddamn house and I move away, just, yeah, you get it. Anyways, this makes me pretty pissed off. So, well then what happened? Okay, I get pregnant, okay? After I I just moved back home, and I was trying to, like, make some friends. I was still talking with, like, my ex, because for a little bit he was gonna try to not be a dick and an asshole, and I, like, didn't really care about it. Like, he was still in the picture, though, okay? So I was literally just trying to meet people, because, the friends I had, Marvin, there's, like, drinks on the counter here, bud. You do not need to be up here. So I'm just trying to meet some friends, because my friends had moved away since I'd been gone, so I didn't know anybody anymore. And so I go and hang out with this person and end up being pregnant. And so then, he finds out I'm pregnant. He fucking runs, you know? But not before he said a bunch of nasty shit to me, okay? It's honestly embarrassing what he said to me. So I'm not repeating that shit. But it was pretty fucked up, okay? And if I've said all I've said so far, and I'm not saying something, let that speak for itself, okay? So, yeah, so here I am, back at my parents' house, where I already didn't feel safe to begin with. That's why I left. So I was, like, new fight or flight, new trauma response, like, taken over real hard. Because I'd literally been home for maybe a couple weeks. And I was so sick at that point, I was literally throwing up anything I ate. And that's just because my gut was so fucked up. It wasn't doing anything. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna talk about it. So the hell color is that? Okay. Okay, so anyways, as you can picture, and as you can imagine, I've literally had to move back in with my parents because I couldn't take care of myself. I couldn't work a job. I was fucking sick as a dog. Worse than, well, actually dogs are pretty healthy. You know what I mean. I was sick as fuck. Couldn't eat, barfing, miserable as fuck. When my parents came to like get me, I'd been like restricted. I could not lift more than 5 pounds. I was pretty much bedridden. I was dizzy. I was having seizures. It was horrible. People don't realize I was having seizures, but I didn't understand that that's what they were. I've done my own research now. I was having seizures, lots of them. It was awful, okay? So this is what's going on for me personally, and so, I feel like shit, and somebody's like, hey, I'll come hang out with you for a little bit, you know, keep me company, so I have some company, because I'm literally stuck in my bed feeling like shit all the time. And I'm like, yeah, he knew I was talking to my ex, so theoretically I shouldn't have to worry about anything. I was like, and my whole family's home, so it'll be fine, right? No, it wasn't fine. So, I mean, everybody still wanted me to be mad at me for some reason, which I'm trying to figure out why exactly everybody had it out for me so bad. Which is weird, because at the same time, they're all like, I'd been fucking traumatized. I was literally a victim. It was really confusing. Anyways, Marvin, chill out, dude. So anyways, I'm getting like a little bit. So I end up being pregnant, okay? And you know what's sad about being raised in a culture that, sides with the abuser, or there's a whole narrative that, I mean, it takes two, blah, blah, blah. So basically, I've already been fucked. This is why, this is religious trauma, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with actual religion. It's the people that are fucking you over, just treating you like shit and teaching you that if you get abused, it's probably your fault. Because you were either dressed inappropriately, or you just didn't fight off somebody that was 3 times your size. I mean, geez, it seems like that's pretty, why didn't you do that? God, you fight them off. And what do you know? Nobody ever did. Just kind of funny, because it was always put on me to be like the one that's like fighting and wielding the sword and everything. But like, if I ever did speak up about something, it was like, you're being dramatic, you're too sensitive. So, I need to like refocus, because I'm just like, my mind's just kind of trying to shut itself down right now. So, see ya. Stick around for part 2, I guess.